take off this tire rod, and then we can just slip the whole subframe out from there. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Not much, just working on a McLaren over here. Under here, this crack right here goes all the way up into there, and when I was unscrewing it, this piece was actually moving. As you can see, like, I can probably just peel it completely. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another McLaren 720s episode. As you guys seen in the previous episode, we got most of the front end taken apart. We got the frame rails off. In today's video, we're gonna be digging a little bit deeper and we're gonna see exactly how bad this tub is on this car. So before we get to work on this McLaren 720s, I'm super excited to be partnered back up with Omaze to give you guys the chance to win a 2005 Ford GT plus $20,000 on top, all shipping and handling included. So if you don't know what a Ford GT is, it's basically Ford's first supercar. This thing has over 550 horsepower, can do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. So it's basically a supercar, and this thing only has 1,500 miles on it. With only 1,500 miles, this car is practically brand new, and the red paint and the white stripes absolutely sets off all the curves of this beautiful Ford GT. And then whenever you come to the interior of the car, it has a bunch of carbon fiber options. This thing is one of the rarest Ford GTs you can own. So if you want to enter for your chance to win this beautiful 2005 Ford GT with only 1,500 miles on it, head over to omaze.com/2005. So now let's get back to work on our McLaren. So as you guys seen in the previous video, we got this entire right side basically all stripped down, and we found out this giant problem right here. As you can see, this carbon fiber is all cracked up, and the crazy thing about carbon fiber is as soon as it gets one little crack, it loses all strength. So maybe this can be fixed, I'm not too sure. And as you can see on this frame rail, it actually ripped the entire aluminum piece out, which this is a structural piece. It's not just something like on the side of the car. And you can tell on this side right here, this piece is fully embedded into the carbon fiber right there. And I guess they use some kind of special glue, and it's not really looking too good. So we're gonna have to actually keep digging deeper into this car and see if maybe we can save this tub. We might have to get a new one, but we won't know until we get this subframe off and just get most of this other stuff off. So we did see a little bit, like a little crack down here. I wasn't too worried at first, but it's kind of starting to worry me, because if this thing needs a new tub, that's gonna be really expensive, but hopefully we won't need one. So what I wanna do in today's video is go ahead and take off some of this stuff right here that's kind of just hanging on. Like this pump right here, it kind of just pulled the tubes out. I'm pretty sure this is the power steering, which goes all the way down into here. So I'll probably just go ahead and take it off just so it's not hanging. And then you can see on our ABS unit, we do have a little bit of damage right there, but good thing it's only one brake line, and I'm pretty sure this is the driver's side. Yeah, it is. Or it's the passenger side, so it's the smallest one going all the way there. That won't be too hard to replace. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and just start taking all this stuff off. Like start taking these lines off right here and basically cleaning up this whole area so we can see what's going on inside over here. Let's get some tools and let's just start digging deep into this car and see how bad this tub is. So the first thing I'm gonna go ahead and remove is this power steering unit right here. It doesn't look like it's damaged anywhere. It's kind of just broken off the mounts right here. There was some bolts in there, but we already took them off. So let's go ahead and remove this power steering unit. So we just got the power steering unit off, and the good thing is there's no damage anywhere. This thing is pretty freaking expensive, as with everything on this car. Now we're gonna continue on moving. We probably are gonna go ahead and just remove this ABS unit, because as you can see, these lines are kind of screwed up, and this side over here, the brakes are already ripped off, so there's no brake fluid in the car. So let's go ahead and get this thing off. Oh, there's a piece of glass stuck in here.
Yeah, I don't think this is supposed to be moving like that, huh?
This is the AC unit right here slash supercharger. I don't know what's going on
Wait,
here.
AC? What did you say? It's AC unit slash supercharger?
Yep.
Yo, what is this?
I'm not too sure. It looks like it might be one of these perches right here. Probably sits in it on this side over here. You see, probably just like that. But as you can see, look how much of a gap there still is between the subframe and the frame rail. It's not looking too good, but we did kind of move everything out of the way, and now you get a better look at how bad this frame rail or the subframe actually is. That's insane. It just cracked all that stuff up.
Oh, shadow, look at this. Holy.
That's pretty bad. But we're gonna just continue moving on. What I want to do now is actually jack up that side of the car and lift it up in the air and take off this tire. Because then what we can do then is start actually removing the subframe because the control arms are connected right here. So let's go ahead and lift the car up and take off this wheel. So we just got this wheel off, and man, check out how big this freaking rotor is. That is insane. It's even bigger than my head, and that's what we need on this car. I mean, a car with 700 horsepower, you gotta have some good stopping power. Now what we need to do is probably just go ahead and just unbolt these right here. We need to unbolt these control arm bolts on this side and on this side, and probably take off this tire rod, and then we can just slip the whole subframe out from there. So we got all the suspension just hanging here. Everything is unbolted. Now what we need to do is unbolt the steering rack. There should be 2 bolts in the center of it, and we can go ahead and drop that subframe down. Now what we need to do is go ahead and screw this bolt right here and right here. I'm so surprised that this steering rack is not broken, or it doesn't really look broken, and the steering wheel actually moves everything. But the crazy thing is it just got yammered right there. It just broke all that off. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is unscrew these, and we also have one more plug right here. This actually goes to the hydraulic activated suspension, which is pretty freaking insane. So let's go ahead and unplug this and we can drop this thing off. So we just got the last bolt off. Now it's time to lift the car up in there and fully unbolt this subframe. So we got the car lifted back up in the air, and now what we need to do is go ahead and get rid of, or remove these little air dams, I guess. Directs airflow, and then all we need to unbolt are these 2 bolts back here, because I'm pretty sure these over here, yeah, they just got all ripped off, so there's really no bolts holding it up. As you can see, you can kind of move the subframe with your hands. So let's go ahead and remove these little air dams, and then we can get the whole subframe off and see exactly what's going on back here. I am kind of worried because if it turns out to be a little bit worse than we think, we're going to be ordering a new tub. Man, guys, I'm unscrewing this bolt and all you can hear is the carbon fiber just crackling. All right, we got the last one off and let's see if we can get this thing off. Holy crap. Dang, son. But man, that actually started to come back a little bit, so that's a kind of a good sign. Not really, because it was crackling and popping like a bonfire. But we'll see. Let's get this last little bullet off.
Watch out.
Oh.
That thing is toasted.
Oh yeah, look how much glass and stuff there's in here. I don't get how the glass got in there. But man, look at that right there, just all crunched like a little piece of paper that you crunch up. So guys, check this out. We just got the subframe off and it doesn't look too bad. I think it just needs a little bit of cleaning right here. Weld this up and maybe cut out something on the CNC table and it'll be good to go. But I'm just kidding, guys. Look at that damage though. That is just epic. It just completely obliterated this subframe, which is pretty freaking crazy. So now let's go take a look underneath. So we got the subframe off and man, it's not looking too good under here. This crack right here goes all the way up into there. And when I was unscrewing it, this piece was actually moving. As you can see, look, I can probably just peel it completely off. I think this, yeah, that's a very big problem right there. You can just see the suspension mounting point for the subframe. One of the most important things in the front, it is broken off, but I do know a guy, Tavares, he actually repaired his, so we're gonna give him a call and see what he thinks because he did get a lot of carbon fiber work done on his car. It wasn't that bad as this car, but we'll give him a call here in a second and see what he thinks. So before we call up Tavares, we actually got an email from the previous owner of this car, and it turns out this thing only has around 2,500 miles, which I kind of thought because it is a 2019 and the suspension in the back looked really clean, but you can never be too sure. Some of these cars get driven a lot, and he also has a spare key for this car, which is cool because our key, remember in the previous episode you could see it was a little broken on the back. I guess it was in his pocket, so that's a big plus. You know who you are. Thanks for all the information, and we also got another picture from the actual highway where it was wrecked. So that's pretty cool. So maybe we'll have to give him a ride in this car when we're done with it. So let's go ahead and give Tavares a call and see what he says about this. Hey, what's going on? How's it going?
What's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. Just working on this McLaren 720s over here. Not looking too good though.
Nuts. So what's wrong with your car? What's like really wrong with it?
Well, as you can see, this bracket right here that holds the subframe up is just completely, I just kind of popped it off because it was already broken. And I'm guessing that's where like all the structure is on it.
Yeah, so that bracket is on my car. It should be the same thing. The frames are almost identical.
Yeah.
So that's right here, and this is where the subframe bolts on. That is, yeah, that's pretty bad.
So your damage was kind of on the side. It wasn't really structural, was it?
No, not really. So mine was right here, and when the car hit, I think it went up into something, maybe like a tree or something, and it just cut like a V right there, and I had all this replaced. Like this entire thing was cut out, and this whole thing was replaced, and you know the weave was matched and all that. So thankfully it wasn't in a structural piece, and actually, I mean, the car is being held up by the new thing, so it's
looks like it's working out.
Yeah, it seems like it's working out, but if it's in a place where stuff bolts onto it, that gets a lot of stress. And if that's already snapped off, then I really would advise getting a new frame or a good used frame. You don't want to get a new frame that's going to be like $80,000 or something.
Yeah, I think that's what we might have to do because there is a little bit of damage just on the side over here, which is pretty much just like yours, but it's just higher up. I mean, that's the only thing I seen when I bought the car. I was like, man, hopefully that's it. But it turns out it's a lot worse underneath. And it's pretty crazy how this carbon fiber just cracks and it just turns into like, it literally turns into like super soft. That's weird.
It does, yeah. So if you don't have the resin and you don't have all the other structure, then it just becomes like this floppy mess. But here is actually a really big reinforcement point. Like this is actually pretty thick, and there's also like an interior structure that goes in. The McLaren tubs are made, they're not like pre-preg. They are dry carbon, and they have like a specific way of doing it where if you break a structural component, then basically you need to replace the entire tub because you're not going to bring back that structure.
Yeah, and another thing is on the frame rail right here, it actually, I'm sure you see where the frame rail bolts on? It just ripped that whole aluminum piece out.
Yeah, that's more concerning actually to me than the other stuff, because that's one of the, like, that holds on this entire, like, front end of the car. So a lot of people, when they get these McLarens and Lamborghinis and Ferraris, because they're also like carbon tubs, and they go, oh yeah, we'll just replace this, but then they don't see that there's like cracks in here and nothing's going to line up, and then if you get into an accident, God forbid, then it's just going to be a complete nightmare, and who knows if insurance can cover you, because it'll be negligence at that point if you had like a cracked carbon fiber tub and you knew about it and rebuilt it.
Yeah. So I guess the best option is just to go ahead and find a new tub and just order one, I guess.
Just go to the McLaren dealership and order a new tub and see how much that is, and then just cry because it's going to be a lot of money. You can probably find them on eBay or whatever. I'm sure that there's some around.
Alrighty, well, it's good talking to you. I'll see you later.
Cool, man. Thanks. See ya.
So we just got off the phone with Tavares, and it turns out we are going to go ahead and just order a new tub up. I mean, I think we could probably fix this, but it's just going to be a big liability just in case if like we sell the car or something and somebody gets into an accident, and that's just going to really come back at us, and I'd rather just do it right from the start. Maybe we'll do something crazy with this tub. I don't know. That will be in the future. But let's go ahead and lower this thing down and see exactly what else we need to do. So you guys heard Tavares. He's actually rebuilding the 675 LT. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. But basically, we're going to have to go ahead and get a new tub, and what that's going to mean is basically stripping this entire car down to absolutely nothing and just swapping everything over to a new car. Basically, we're going to be building a supercar from scratch. We're going to get, or once we get our new tub ordered up, and hopefully we can find a good deal on them because they're super expensive at the dealer. I think they're around $70,000 to $80,000 because you have to remember this car is around, I think, like $350 or $300. They start at $300, they can option up to $375. So yeah, we'll probably just go ahead and have to pull the trigger on it. So the best thing about getting the new tub is we're not gonna have to worry about any of this damage right here. As you can see, this is actually forged carbon. It's a lot different from the regular carbon. It's a lot different process. And then you can see the actual fiberglass right there. And that would just be super hard to replicate and get it right. So whenever you open the door, you see actual forged carbon. And then we actually found another crack right here. There's a crack going on through there. And then we have a couple more over here, like right there. And most of this stuff is visible. I'm pretty sure this is like the visible carbon package, and it's just all cracked up through there. So that's the no-brainer. New tub is gonna be a lot better. And down here is, this right here wouldn't be too hard to fix, with that other guy that Tavares used. But the area right here that's the worst is this part right here. This is like a bracket that goes all the way across, and I don't think you could order it or find it anywhere. You'd have to kind of like make it back up with some molds or something like that, and that would just be a big pain in the butt. So that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. We got a lot of work done on this McLaren. We stripped down the entire front end, found some serious damage, talked to Tavares, and it turns out we're gonna need a new tub. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at vTuned. We post a lot of inside scoops on this car along with a lot of cool photos. So guys, in the next episode, we are gonna go ahead and start tearing down this car, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna find more cracks probably underneath the floorboard and stuff like that. We're gonna have to basically remove everything off this car and get it ready for the new car. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, turn on your post notifications so you don't miss a single video. I'll see you guys later.